Section 6. Significance of the Nembutsu. 1. If faith is the true cause for birth and enlightenment, what is the nature of the Nembutsu? Nembutsu, in Shinshu, is the manifestation of inner faith, that is, the spontaneous expression of gratitude to Amida for having saved us. Just as faith is awakened by the other power, the Nembutsu is also awakened by the other power. Accordingly, there should not be attachment to our own action of utterance. 2. How can you say that? The expression in the 18th vow appears to require the Nembutsu as a condition for birth in his country. The term Naishi is added to Junen. In the tradition of the Pure Land School, Junen is understood as 10 utterances, and Naishi as even or even unto. Shinran interpreted Naishi in his writings and stated that Naishi is the word implying many and one. Naishi does not limit the number of Nembutsu or the length of time. Thus, Naishi Junen does not necessarily mean exactly 10 utterances. It implies any number between the countless utterances and even one utterance. This kind of Nembutsu cannot be the condition or the cause. It is only the spontaneous expression of the innermost faith, as Shinran said in the Kyoga Shinsho, quote, "The true faith is necessarily followed by the name." Close quote. 3. Then should we not regard the Nembutsu as our own merit? No. The egoless Nembutsu comes from Amida's benevolence, as in the case of faith. The Tanisho says, quote, "The Nembutsu is non-practice and non-good for those who practice it." Close quote. This means that we should not get attached to our own utterance of the name. The Tanisho also states that, quote, "In the Nembutsu, non-discrimination is its essence, because it is above praise, inexplicable, and inconceivable." Close quote. Non-discrimination, egolessness, or wholehearted trust is the basic attitude of "thus I have heard." 4. Do faith and Nembutsu appear at the same time? If not, which comes first? Faith is awakened first, and just then our birth is determined. There will be no room for the utterance of the name to break into this moment. Nembutsu will follow the awakening of faith. It will appear aloud or softly, continuously or intermittently, whenever the feeling of joy and gratitude arises in the mind. 5. In the Tanisho, Shinran expressed his faith saying that, quote, "Shinran entrusted himself to the teaching of the Venerable Master Honen, that we are saved by Amida merely through the utterance of the Nembutsu." Close quote. Does this not contradict the above explanation on faith and Nembutsu? The teaching of Honen or Shantao was characterized by the emphasis on the Nembutsu in contrast to other sundry practices as required in different schools. However, the Nembutsu in Shantao's and Honen's teachings is the utterance of Amida's name based on true faith. It is not the Nembutsu of self-power, but it represents Amida's characteristic method of salvation as proclaimed in the vow. Shinran used this expression too, especially when he referred to Shantao's or Honen's teaching. 6. Is Nembutsu the expression of gratitude or the great practice? We utter the Nembutsu spontaneously as the expression of happiness and gratitude, so we do not find any merit in our own utterance. Essentially speaking, however, the absolute virtue embodied in the sacred name itself is the great practice, which was accomplished by Amida and is in accord with thusness, as stated in the volume on practice by Shinran Shonen. 7. Is this Nembutsu the utterance of the 6-character name or the 9 or 10-character name? The 6-character name, Na Mu A Mi Da Butsu, is the most popular. However, it is historically known that Shinran and his disciples occasionally recited the 9 or 10 character name. The 9 character name refers to Na Mu Fu Ka Shi Ji Ko Nyo Rai, or homage to the Tathagata of inconceivable light, and the 10 character name to Ki Myo Jin Ji Po Mu Ge Ko Nyo Rai, or homage to the Tathagata of unimpeded light pervading the 10 quarters. Both of these are concerned with the obeisance to and trust in Amida Buddha, and accordingly do not differ from the content of the 6 character name. 8. Is the Nembutsu in Japanese or in English? The 6 character name is the transliteration of the Sanskrit word into Chinese characters. Later it came to be spelled in Japanese or European letters. As for the 9 and 10 character names, these are all in Chinese, except the term Namu. As Shinran shown in his belief to have recited these Chinese translation names as well, no doubt we may utter the Nembutsu in Japanese, in English, or in any other language. The vital point is that there should be true faith as the basis of the Nembutsu. 9. Must the Nembutsu have a special form, or can it be recited in more simplified forms? There have appeared many forms of the Nembutsu in the long history of Buddhist practice, but Shinshu does not require any formal recitation except in the case of sutra chanting. Some people may recite it regularly, Na Mu A Mi Da Butsu, and some in irregular form, Nan Man Da Butsu. According to the circumstances, they might not have time to utter more than a single syllable, like Na or Ah. Again, certain persons might not be able to give voice to the Nembutsu, but would have to speak it silently. These superficial differences, however, are not concerned with the value of the Nembutsu at all, because all the merits are embodied in the sacred name itself, and not in the form of its recitation.